Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The topic of today's presentation is technology and innovation. This is a joint venture work of myself and my wife, Dr. Dayang Tiawa Haji Hamid, who is currently the Dean, Faculty of Islamic Technology, UNISSA. The content of the presentation will cover, firstly, the vision of Faculty Islamic Technology, UNISSA. Secondly, the understanding of technology and innovation. And finally, sharing research outputs in technology and innovation. On the 9th of November 2020, a new faculty, that is Faculty of Islamic Technology, was formed in UNISSA. The main focus is on the knowledge of Islamic technology and how Islamic research and innovation can fully utilize the current principles of science and technology. In the address speech during the convocation, His Royal Highness Duli Yang Maha Mulia Sri Paduka Baginda Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah put forward the importance of looking into the teaching of Al-Quran and Hadith as the main source in doing high-impact technological research and how it will benefit mankind, especially in this digital era. Interdisciplinary research concepts that combine Islamic knowledge, applied technology, and creative innovation will be introduced as the vision for postgraduate research courses. The combination of these three main disciplines will better equip postgraduate students to conduct research on Islamic technology and innovation. And all this will be based on Al-Quran, Hadith, and Sunnah. Looking back into the evolution of Industrial Revolution, start from IR 1.0, where steam power was used, moving to IR 2.0, electrical energy was then introduced, and Industry 3.0, computer and electronic devices were widely developed. Currently, the IR 4.0, the big challenge was facing in the use of internet, robotic, computer, cloud computing, and so on. The question is, what is next? For the fourth industrial revolution, we are shifting from science and technology to technology and innovation. And here I'll show you the steps to commercialize all our innovation products. We start off from the discovery research and we move on to the applied research, where we start to look into the markets. From there, we start to develop our products. Slowly, we start off our creation by looking at our prototypes. Then we move up to startup companies, and we finally venture our investment on big scales. Now let us move on to what is technology. Technology is the application of knowledge to the practical aim of human life or to changing and manipulating the human environment. Technology includes the use of materials, tools, techniques, and source of power to make life easier and more pleasant and work more productive. We apply technology in almost everything we do in our life. We use technology at work. We use it to extract materials. We use technology for communication, transportation, learning, manufacturing, creating artifacts, securing that data, and much more. Okay, what's the difference between technology and engineering? Technology is the collection of tools, including machinery, modification, arrangement, and procedure used by humans, whereas engineering is the discipline that seeks to study and design new technologies. And what are the advantages of technology? Firstly, easy access to information, encourage innovation and creativity, improve communication, convenient for traveling, improve housing and lifestyle, improve entertainment, efficiency, and productivity. Okay, if we look at the process of technology transfer defined as the process of conveying results stemming from scientific and technological research to the marketplace and to wider society, along with associated skills and procedures, and it is much as intrinsic part of technological innovation process. And we look at the concepts of technology transfer. It starts off from discovery, disclosure, evaluation, IP protection, marketing, licensing, product development, and finally, it will be used by public. And this will give us financial returns. Okay, before we understand what is innovation, it's good for us to look into what is creative thinking. And this is what we exercise among all our students, the needs of creative thinking. Creative thinking is the ability to approach challenges, reframe them into possibilities, and come up with new, fresh, and sometimes unexpected ideas to solve them. In order to understand creative thinking, it's good for us to look at the left brain and right brain theory. Like left brain theory will focus on logical thinking, such as analytic, probability, objective, and verbal. Whereas for creative thinking, there is the right brain will be more generative, possibilities, subjective, and visual. And we look at this diagram, the right brain generates a lot of options and ideas, making lists, and the arrow, it will diverge our thinking. Whereas the left brain is used for judging, assessing option, focusing, making decision, and this is where our brains start to converge in thinking styles. In order to implement our interdisciplinary research concepts, we have to undergo 3 main phases. That is teamwork. We visualize our knowledge, and finally, we develop the concepts or the models or the products of our research. Okay, this is where we show you how the student work in a team. Then they start to visualize their knowledge, either in the form of brainstorming, or they will put their ideas on the boards and to see the flow of their models. And finally, they come up with the models, and this is where Tesla motto put forward, it costs the same to make an ugly car than a good looking one. So this is where we train our students to come up with new concepts. Not only new concept, but a much better concept if they work in teams. Okay, this slide shows the whole process. Firstly, the discussion among the students and how the process occurs. We start from creating, observe what they do, and start to measure. They analyze their work, and finally, we put them in incubators where they will come up with their prototypes. And finally, the prototypes will merge into new products. So what is innovation? Innovation is a new process of produce new product, service, or process of upgrading the existing product service to the next level. Okay, this figure shows 3 main elements of innovation. First, we copy the current products, then we combine with new ideas before we transform it into what it is called as innovation and creativity. And we can see here 1% come from ideas, the other 99% is execution. It's about action, creating what you want, what you cannot see. It's about connecting people and ideas. It's about deviation, forging new combinations. Okay, these are some examples of Muslim inventors that shaped the modern world. One of them is Ismail Al-Jasari, who work on modern engineering, hydraulics, and robotics. Among the invention of Ismail Jasari is water rising machine clock to musical robots. And he operated at a time when innovation in science, art, and physiology in the Islamic world was at its peaks. Other Muslim inventors such as Jabril, who worked on chemistry, Al-Khwarizmi in mathematics, and also Ibn Rashid who is a philosopher. So these are some of the inventions, as I mentioned earlier. For example, a Muslim who lived in the 9th centuries in Spain, Abbas, invent the flying machines. Ismail Al-Jasari worked on the modern clock, water rising machine. Hassan Al-Ramha worked on the explosive rockets, and Abu Al-Wahfa is also a mathematician and an astronomer. If we look at the Western world, one of them is Thomas Edison, who invented the telegraph operator. And Thomas Edison stated that genius is 1%, however, inspiration and perspiration is 90%, 99%. Accordingly, a genius is often merely a talented person who has done all of his work or her homework. Okay, this is where we put ideas into opportunities. With our new product ideas, we start to screen the ideas, then we develop the concepts, looking into the potential analysis, and we start to develop the product, test market before we start to commercialize our products. These are some of the current trends in technology used for Islamic research. It starts off from artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. Secondly, we have digital transformation, virtual reality, augmented reality, big data, robotics, Internet of Things, and cloud computing. These are some of the most current trend in technology, and we use it in our Islamic research. Okay, now we'd like to share our previous research outputs that we have done. Our first project is on the 3D virtual reality Hajj simulations, and this is for Hajj pilgrimage to practice before they depart to Mecca. Our second project is 3D cyber therapy for hand stroke. We use this for stroke patients. And our third project on virtual reality is about Antarctica virtual simulation training. We train in the Antarctica virtual simulator before we depart to Antarctica for our expedition. The next project is 3D immersed environment to reduce anxiety and increase self-confidence. And we tried this on the national volleyball team. This is where innovative approach of volleyball athletes to use interactive immersed environment, and the main purpose is to let them be in the actual situation, and this will reduce their stress. Another project is 5D immersed environment for bicycle training, where we bring riders into our simulation room and they are able to do their cycling exercises using our simulator. We also produce what we call as prediction of exhaustion threshold for aerobic exercises where we develop a device that will assess our exhaustion threshold, and we collect the data and we digitize it. Another project is about Kinex for oral proficiency and enhancing English for among primary school students. This is where we give students vocabulary related to the contents using hand and eyes coordination to drag and drop the vocabulary to the pictures. The next project look into the virtual reality training for evacuation during flood disasters. This is we train those flood victims to escape if they face flood disaster, and we use simulation to overcome those problems. Another project is about behavior therapy, where we treat anxiety disorder symptoms, especially among preschoolers who have problems of going to school. And this is where we use augmented reality to as the theory behind our projects. One of the projects that use robotic technology is wireless robotic, where we develop a robot as a partner for our national fences. Another project is about developing a water gun where we use for recreation. We also develop badminton agility training and testing device where we use it to train agility performance for our national badminton players. Another good example of our project using Internet of Things, IoT, is connective performance, and we use virtual reality as part of the brain activity among our national cyclists. We also use Internet of Things in our project on talent identification, puzzle hexagon agility test. This is where we develop the agility speed among our national athletes. One of the project that we won a few medals is about the arm swing foot drop neural orthosis, where we use this for stroke patient. Another project that we use artificial learning is about sport talent identification decision support system, where we collect the data from our junior athletes and we use to predict their talents. And this device is able to come up with hidden talents among these junior athletes according to their sports. And finally, we have the wireless electronic fitness assessment and testing system, where we use the system to assess the fitness level of our students in the schools. Now, I'm going to share to you the potential current research which we conduct in UNISSA among our postgraduate students. The first project that I'm going to present is design and develop the remote operated vehicle, or in short form ROV, to assess the water quality and purity in aquaculture. So we use this ROV to assess the water quality in terms of temperature, pH, oxygen, ammonia, and alkalinity of the water. And the finding will be discussed in relation to water purity according to the Sharia with water quality requirement in the aquaculture. The second project is about digital transformation, where we use cloud-based solution for faculty management system at higher education institution. So this is where we try to digitize our management system, and the system may assist student records, attendance, enhance online teaching and learning, use a server-based system, and finally, the current system, it will solve the problem of current system that is silo environment. Our third project now, what we are developing is the smart VR shopping techniques, where we use mobile phone and virtual reality technology in shopping online, and we put Islamic business marketing models as the main tools. One of our postgraduate students focus on cyber problems on social media, use based on Sharia. And this project is hoped to look into the social problems used by most of our students and what is happening in the social media. Another project will look into the development of 3D technology in an interactive system to aid Tajweed learner. We also designed a smart technology lab for Quran research, training, and learning. First of all, we identify UNISSA students who specialize in Quran field. We determine the demand of the community to access Quran and Islamic education. We identify the requirement for accreditation of the Quran teaching and parties involved. And finally, we start to design and develop the smart technology lab for Quran research, teaching, and learning. We also develop a 3D Hajj simulator, and the project will look into the effectiveness of Tawaf 3D virtual reality training on pilgrims' physiological performance before they depart to Hajj. Another project is about the significance of unified theory of acceptance and the use of technology model in determining online wakaf mobiles application among adults. And this application in future will help our community to have their wakaf online. Another project is about the AR mobile application for fitness training, and it is used to combat the problem of obesity among our youth in Brunei. One of the postgraduate students managed to come up with an application using apps to help or to guide diabetic patients in terms of their Islamic nutritional guidelines. We also have a project that looks into the most facilities that will help women to locate their most conducive place for prayers. And among our final project is about improving accessibility to Brunei Islamic resources with federated search, where Islamic resources in Brunei are spread out, located from different libraries. Websites of these libraries are not connected, and we put forward the question of can federated search increase the usage and use the searching process. And before we end up our presentation, we have one postgraduate program that is Bachelor of Islamic Technology, focusing on media and communications, and a new program will emerge soon that is Bachelor of Islamic Technology, focusing on data analytics. Thank you.